It was a cool Halloween evening in Stick, Tennessee. The year was 1968, and young Emma Simmons was marching across the sidewalk in her Raggedy Ann costume. She passed several other children going from house to house and demanding candy or attempting to scare others, but Emma was on a mission. Emma wasn't from Stick, but her father had moved them back to be closer to his parents. The small town seemed like another world to Emma, and compared to the suburbs of Virginia, this was basically a village. But what was particularly strange were the weird customs: putting food in the driveway once a week, never leaving the window open overnight. But the biggest of all, that on Halloween, everyone had to be home by 10 p.m. Emma's new friends Kelly and Faith were tagging along right behind her. As they darted from house to house, Faith in her witch's costume and Kelly in her Little Red Riding Hood outfit, Emma was working to get every piece of candy out there, and if she had to be done getting candy by 10 o'clock, then she was going to have more candy than Scrooge had money. Emma, slow down. Why do you walk so fast?
I told you, Kelly. We're taking this town for all it has and then some.
As the day turned to night, the girls went about executing Emma's planned route. By the time it hit 9, the girls had made it to the edge of town. Emma's eyes were alive with a look of greed. Should we turn around? It's getting late and we're already pretty far away.
We're on the home stretch. This is Riverview Road. I heard they had the best candy in town. It's true. They live so far out so less people come by. Jimmy Springer got 5 whole candy bars last year. Exactly. Let's go clean house, girls.
The trio waded into the street, 2 girls dragging behind one who looked ready to conquer the world. As the girls made their way, the constant buzz of fellow children faded out, and the 3 girls were slowly becoming more and more alone. Suddenly, a loud bell chimed from the town center, reverberating across the night.
Crap. Emma, that's the first bell. We need to get back soon. Just one more house. We're almost done.
No, Emma, we have to go. The bell only chimes 3 times. The 3rd time means it's 10 p.m. We have to go.
Look, I know a shortcut. We can go through the woods and be by my house. Just this last stop, okay?
Emma could taste the victory. Already this street alone had gotten her more candy than all the others combined. The last house would give her everything it had left. Fine, but we really have to go after this. The girls made their way up the long driveway to the house at the end of Riverview Road. As they approached the final house, an older man opened the door in a panic.
What are you 3 doing out this late? Didn't you hear the bell? Please tell me you girls live nearby.
Oh, not too far. But before we go home, trick or treat.
The old man looked confused, but dumped the remainder of his candy bowl in the 3 girls' bags, leaving them overflowing with sweets.
Fine, here, take it.
Thank you.
Yes, please, head home, now. But be quick. She'll be out soon.
Kelly and Faith both nodded, but Emma looked confused. She ignored the question in her mind and nodded as well. The trio ran full sprint down the road and came upon a path into the woods. Are you sure about this, Emma?
This path comes out in the park near my house. It'll be fine. Let's go.
As the words came out of her mouth, the second bell rang. All 3 girls took off into the forest at full speed down the twisted path. Emma had something gnawing at her mind the whole time. Who did he mean when he said she would be out soon? But before she could ask the others, her foot caught a root, sending her tumbling through the brush, scratching and ripping at her clothes while she felt each rock that dug into her sides. As her tumble ended, she found herself alone.
Kelly? Faith?
Chills went shivering down Emma's spine. As the air grew cold around her, she could hardly move a muscle, even as her friends' voices grew louder. The air had all but left Emma's lungs as her heartbeat doubled in pace. She turned around slowly, and there, in Emma's gaze, was a pale, ghostly figure of a deformed woman floating in the night. Emma! Kelly grabbed Emma and spun her around to see Kelly and Faith stumbling toward her. As she looked back to find the haunted figure, there was nothing left but darkness. Emma, are you okay?
Come on, we have to go.
Emma gathered herself, and the girls took off down the path home. but Emma was unusually quiet. "You okay? What happened back there?"
What? Nothing at all.
Emma, afraid to say what she saw, had tears flying off of her face as she ran. What had she just seen? "What's wrong?"
I heard something. I saw something. There's something in the woods with us. It's her.
"Let's run faster." As the girls progressed, the sounds of the forest had ceased, and all that remained was the padding of footsteps on fallen leaves and dirt. But suddenly, a whisper rang out among all three of them. The creepy voice rang out continuously. The girls all felt the fear boiling over inside. But just as the voice was at its peak, Emma noticed what would be their savior.
The lights from town. I see them. We're almost there.
The beacon of safety came into view. Just a few more yards and they would be in the park by Emma's house. The voice continued to swirl around them until the third bell chimed. Just as they crossed the threshold of the forest, Emma continued through the park aiming for her house when suddenly she was alone. Emma stopped in her tracks and searched for her two companions, but saw nothing. The voices had stopped, and the usual sounds of nighttime had filled the air. Emma, confused, started calling out for her companions.
Kelly? Faith? This isn't funny. Where did you go?
Abruptly, the sounds of night paused again, and Emma spotted a figure in a red cloak where she last saw her friends.
Kelly? Faith?
The haunting voice returned as the figure in the red hood turned around to reveal the deformed face she saw earlier. Emma turned around and ran full speed to her home, crying until she reached her father, and crying even after for whatever it was that had just happened to her. To this day, no one really knows what happened that night. The town searched the whole following day for Kelly and Faith. Emma found it odd the town just accepted it, saying they knew the risks of being out that night, or that the rules were there for a reason. Emma, for her part, would never go out on Halloween night again. Emma sought answers to why this happened. No one would give her a straight answer, and even then would barely look her in the eye. Soon, Halloween curfew would become earlier and earlier, but every Halloween night, the feeling of dread returned to Emma, for the guilt she felt for surviving, for the friends she lost, and for the blame she laid on herself. But most of all, it was the fact that every Halloween night, just after that third bell, she heard those whispers again, and she saw that red figure just outside her window, staring straight at her.